in 3 weeks, the host country for the 2030 World Expo will be decided, and South Korea will be making one final push for its bid to host a mega event in the coastal city of Busan. For more on Busan's prospects, we're joined by Samuel Richards, teaching professor of sociology at Penn State University. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, Professor, about a month ago, you gave a speech promoting Busan's Expo Bid at the Busan Expo Symposium in Paris. Could you tell us about the key message of your speech?
Yes, my main message is that Busan and the Republic of Korea is the best of the three choices to hold World Expo 2030. And what I said was that the world is balancing precariously on the edge of a cliff with a wide range of social and environmental challenges ahead of us. And Korea can help us through these issues. And I've been saying this in many different venues, but we need countries, and we need a country in particular with high-tech abilities that can help us through some of these intractable problems. And Korea is a technology leader and a country that's developed its own technologies and doesn't rely on other countries to advance the many overlapping industries. So Korea is really the best choice.
Right. Major South Korean businesses are going all out promoting Busan's bid in Paris, where the BIE headquarters is located. Could you tell us some of the most notable campaigns and how much of an impact could they actually bring to the decision-making process?
Well, there's one happening right now, actually, the Invest Korea Summit 2023 campaign. And I think about 200 or 300 foreign investors in semiconductors and electric vehicles and secondary batteries and energy from over 30 countries are in Busan to explore business opportunities in Korea. And I think these kinds of campaigns have a great deal of value. I think, but honestly, I think it's the behind the scenes campaigning that's critical at this point. And there are just so many factors that come into play. Like President Yoon, Yoon's administration strengthened ties with the US and Japan, but these have consequences for ties with China. And many people say that China is interfering in the World Expo voting. Well, Korea would say interfering. But had the Korean government strengthened ties with China, then perhaps the US and Japan would not support the Korean World Expo bid. So, it's very complicated, actually. But I think it's all behind the scenes at this point.
Right. The campaign itself, regardless of the voting outcome, must be serving a good chance for South Korea to promote its global prestige and its presence on the global stage. What would you say about this?
Well, the World Expo bid's a net positive because the Republic of Korea is constantly in the news because of it and things related to the World Expo. And the bid demonstrates that the Korean government and the city of Busan are very forward thinking. So absolutely net positive. And, it's clear from all of the presentations that have been happening around the world and all of the media that has been built around this Expo bid. And I think it's valuable because, people are talking about Korea and the future because the World Expo represents the future. And so people are talking about that, and they're talking about technology and innovation. And of course, Korea is a world leader in technology and innovation, as I just said. So it's absolutely a positive thing.
Right. Finally, many are expecting a tight race between South Korea's Busan and Riyadh of Saudi Arabia until the very end. What would you say are the key factors that make Busan more suitable and more attractive candidate?
Well, let me say that the Italians say that they're leading the voting, right? But from everybody I've spoken with, here in the US and in Korea, and while I was in France and in Paris, talking to many people who were at the symposium, it really is South Korea and Saudi Arabia. And, Busan is a world-class city and one of the most important ports in all of Asia. And it's instrumental that the world invests in locations like Busan and that we continue to build an interconnected global economy to get us through some of these intractable problems. And speaking of that, Korea is a country that's very forward thinking about environmental issues, and Busan can play a pivotal role in the future. And that's not true of a mega investment in the middle of the desert, which is what the World Expo in Saudi Arabia would be in Riyadh. It's not a place where people are going to return to far into the future. I mean, what would be the purpose of that? Whereas Busan is such a place, and I think it really represents the best of what the world can be.
All right, Professor, thank you for your insight this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for inviting me to speak with your listeners and your viewers.
Thank you.